So season 4 of Greenleaf is renewed. Is there anything we can be looking forward to? Like, new insights? And you can tell us what's happening?
Well, I don't want to give any spoilers, but you're going to see a whole new obstacle come to the Greenleaf clan and them holding on to the church. We just finished with the taxes issue, and we are now going through divorce and all of that. You're going to see a whole new entity come to take over everything that they've all built together. And we don't know where that's going to end up, but it's still the Greenleafs against the world and each other.
Do you think, playing Lady May, do you think it gave you more of an understanding of the behind the scenes of a church and the way that's run? Or like to sympathize with, we always are like, oh, the pastors should be this and the family should be like this. But the idea and playing Lady May and seeing what could happen, did it give you another perspective?
Well, no, because unfortunately, playing Lady May didn't have to give me a perspective of what goes on behind the scenes of a church, because we're going through, I think, such a challenging time in some areas of organized religion and some congregations. We've seen, people dealing with money issues and sexual issues and speaking out of both sides of their mouths sometimes, living one way and acting another way. So we've seen this. We see the fallout of it. We see the fallout of it not only in mega churches, but in the ultimate megachurch, the Catholic Church. We're seeing the Pope try to deal with things that have been uncovered in terms of sexual abuse stories with the priest and their church. So life lets me know that both Lady May and Calvary and all of its problems are not just TV drama. It's not fiction. Unfortunately, we're able to look around and see many churches that do well, but we're also seeing where organized religion has discouraged people and turned them away from an institution when, in my opinion, the most important part of it is not turning away from God, right? But they just like throwing the baby out with the bathwater, and that's happened a lot. So Lady May, Greenleaf, Calvary, the whole storyline is but being a mirror to society, humanity, and what is really actually going on in some congregations. It only takes one rotten apple to spoil a whole bunch. So yeah, I think it's purpose-filled and serviceable to look at it close up without it being threatening, looking at a fictional congregation and seeing what can happen. I feel that, I don't know, perhaps I'm self-important, but I feel that the work we're doing is important and needed.
In both Nappily and in Greenleaf, you play the strong, stern, yet feisty mother. What is it that what makes you gravitate towards those kind of roles, or specifically these two?
Nappily Ever After and Greenleaf. Well, it's funny, people say, and they'll say on Twitter, oh, Lynn Whittfield plays great moms. But to me, each character is very specific. The mom in Greenleaf was, I wouldn't say so much feisty, but she's strong in her own way, but she's a complete and utter romantic. All she wants is for her daughter to have a happily ever after story, that her prince will come along on a beautiful horse and sweep her off her feet, and she'll never have a problem. So she's very romantic. Lady May functions out from a defensive position more than anything, wanting to keep the family legacy intact. So she's not looking at outer sources to gain any kind of validity or wealth or comfort. They have that already. She's in a defense mode. She's defending what she has and making sure that they don't lose it. Whereas this mom, the Nappily Ever After, she just wants what's best for her daughter and to see her happy, and, she would be looking at Meg, if that woman existed, Meghan Markle, she would be on her like white on rice, as we say in the South. Like, what is she doing now? What is she wearing? I want my daughter to have this. I want her to be a countess, a princess, a royalty, you know? So they're very, very different women, but both feisty, both opinionated, but very different.
With the array of women and mothers specifically that you've played, has it impacted your relationship with the real Grace that is your daughter?
Oh, my real Grace, we have such a wonderful relationship. We're best friends. We have a respect for each other. We get on each other's nerves sometimes. I still feel I know what's best for her, but she feels the same way. So we'll switch back and forth with being the mom. She's been on me about my social media and making sure I get everything. By the way, keep the cameras running, everybody. So, you know, Grace, I'm doing it. You know, so we have a really, really wonderful relationship, you know. I don't know, life really would not be the same without her.
With the incredible success of the movies like Black Panther, Get Out, and Moonlight, do you think, what is your take on the shift of, I don't want to say black cinema, but cinema representing black people?
Well, I'm really excited about what is happening with cinema, with black subject matter at the center of it. I think that filmmakers and storytelling tellers are feeling more courageous, feeling that they have a platform in which to tell stories that you wouldn't normally see. I mean, what a horror story that actually is dealing with race, a story about a young black gay boy. You know, this fictional place, you know, that Black Panther is in, and going with a sort of sci-fi that has to do with our heritage. It's because the platforming is there. It's because of viewers, thank you viewers, that studios are understanding that there is an audience for more obscure storylines about the African diaspora. And so it's very exciting. And it also, you know, takes tremendous courage from the filmmakers themselves to take a chance and go out there and tell a story that hasn't been told.
Now let's move on to hair. Do you want to show us your hair? Yeah.
Your hair looks great.
Thank you.
It really
It
does.
took a couple of hours, but you know, I had to be patient.
It took a couple of hours to do?
Yeah.
You're so patient,
Yeah.
but it's
I
beautiful.
am.
Work
Yeah.
of art.
Thank you. Speaking about hair,
Yes.
has hair ever, if at all, impacted your career? Hair choices, like, you know,
Hair choices
hairstyles
impacted
or,
my career?
Yeah.
Well, you know, the thing is if it affected my career positively, then I know about it. If it affected my career negatively, it probably means I didn't get the job. Though I don't know why, because anybody can buy a wig, you know. But I do think that, you know, we go through periods where, you know, light skin and long hair is in, and then, you know, dark skin and natural is what is going on. And hopefully we're coming, you know, we will come to a period, it's somewhere in time that each person is taken as one authentic being and not go so much on superficial things like hair.
What's a good Miss Lynn hair day?
You know, I really, it's to this point, still feel most comfortable with my hair pulled back in a ponytail and just away from my face. I think it was because when I was growing up, I always heard, it's your face. Don't cover your face. And it's just easy, and let's face it, I'm lazy. Trying to deal with it. And now that I've gone completely, natural, and we flat ironed it today because everybody felt we'd go for something sleek, but no more chemicals. I just like pulling it back because I'm a hat person more than a hair person. I have this collection of fedoras that I have gotten all over the world. I'm trying to see if but I haven't found any good hats in South
Here,
Africa yet.
really?
You know.
Have you tried, okay, it's not a fedora really, but like maybe a straw hat? That's a
There's straw
look.
fedoras, and they're felt
That's a,
fedoras.
that's a
Well, a
look.
straw fedora is a Panama, basically. But yeah, I have straw ones, I have felt
Okay.
ones. And I did see a hat maker in a magazine, a South African hat maker. I want to find her. It's this big magenta red straw. It just was glorious looking. Yeah.
You deserve it. You're a glorious
You think
woman.
I did? Oh, she said I'm glorious. Oh my God.
You mentioned that you've gone natural. What's your like natural hair journey been like so far?
You know, I just decided to enjoy the ride. And since I pull it back most of the time, but what I'm loving like the waves that are
I can
there.
see them.
You can?
I can.
Oh, but I don't know how to deal with this shrinkage situation. I mean, the shrinkage is dreadful. You know, I like the curl. So a normal hair day for me is a great wash, coconut oil, a steam so that it's nice and soft. And then after I do all of that and get it all healthy looking and feeling good, I pull it back in a ponytail and put a fedora on. What can I tell you?
Did you have any hair icons growing up? Where you're just like, Mom, I need this hairstyle. Like, I want to look
Oh
like.
my God, Angela Davis. There was a period I just wanted Angela Davis hair, and it wouldn't get that big. So I wanted Angela Davis hair so badly. I wanted that big afro. Well, what I really wanted was her tenacity and her power, but it translated into hair. But that's what happens, you know. We attach meaning to a visual thing, and so that I would roll it up on little rod rollers and then pick it out as big as it would go, and then spray it so it would stay, and then just not move. I couldn't go out, couldn't get it wet, couldn't do anything. But that hair was so iconic to me. I really wanted to have Angela Davis hair. That's the one that that comes to me the most. And then when the bob was in, like the severe bob, that just sort of,
The Audrey
came under
Hepburn
your
times.
chin and was, very short in the back. I just needed that in my world. So I rocked that for about, I don't know, about 6 years.
Oh, nice.
And then I remember when I decided I had to have highlights. So I had a friend of mine who wrote Head of State, the film Head of State, with Chris Rock. They co-wrote it. And Ali said to me, why are you doing a film about the first Black president with blonde hair? I said, I do not have blonde hair, they're highlights. And now when I go back and look at the movie, it was just
Blonde.
I don't know where the low lights went. But, so
Was
I
it a
would go through
DIY?
passion that I want, and now I just want my hair to grow and grow and grow so that it actually
Oh.
looks like
Oh.
this little
Oh.
bauble that I have. I just want to be Rapunzel, darling. And so I don't know how long it's going to take for me to have it on my own, probably the rest of my life. So I just bought it, like a good piece of jewelry. What the heck? I just say, as long as it doesn't define me or define us, as long as it's just something that you enjoy, but not that you must have to feel like yourself. I remember when I said, I'm never gonna have another weave because, when you take the weave hair out and things are a little spotty, like who wants to go on a date? Who wants to do anything? So people run around like they're looking for crack, It's like, is my hair in yet? Can you see me at 1 o'clock in the morning? Can you see me at 5? When can you see me? I'll pay you extra. I mean, I can't do that. I have to feel like me authentically, whatever's happening with my hair, whatever's happening within, and it's hard. It's a difficult exercise for a woman to just believe in herself, no matter what. Oh my goodness, when I came to South Africa, right? my bag, my rolly bag, they took it from me on the plane, right? So when I went to pick up my bags and I got here, I forgot that. And I forgot it there. I was having a dinner date with someone that I know here, and I didn't have my makeup, I didn't have my comb, I didn't have anything. I freaked out, but I was so resourceful. I called down to room service. I said, could you bring me some olive oil? And do you have a brush? So I wet my hair, I put olive oil in it, I made it all, you know what I'm saying? But I absolutely panicked that I didn't have my normal recipe, you know, to do what I do with myself. It really, I don't think I do well on a season of survival where I can't have anything. I mean, what do you do? What? Ah, I, I don't know how I would do, but I know I'm starting to feel more comfortable in my own skin and kind of who Lynn is as a style person and fashion person and who I am just with me as a human. But it's a long road and I still have to remind myself.
I was gonna ask if do you think age, to your point that you just made, do you think age allows for peeling back? Just I don't take this as serious as I did when I was 20 or 30, or my hair, it doesn't matter, or I'm okay to go out and be resourceful with olive oil and, you know, and make that my base, and I don't have to. More of an acceptance or a
I
growth?
think that it's okay that all right, a woman's vanity is biblical. You know, Esther in the Bible, you know, took a half year just anointing herself with myrrh and frankincense and, you know, and preparing herself to that maybe she would be chosen by the king. A woman's vanity, I don't find anything wrong with it. Women should want to be their most beautiful, authentic selves. That's a great thing. It's when you have a sense of beauty that's not yours and that it's difficult to obtain, or you'll never be satisfied with yourself. But wanting to, I mean, we're here, you know, in Africa, we're here in Cape Town, women adorning themselves from Egypt to Greece to, it's never going to go away. I mean, I think it's part of being a woman. It's not feeling like enough, that it's not pretty enough, that it's not good enough, that it's not the answer to what men would find beautiful or whatever. When it becomes injurious to our spirit, then it's too much. But wanting to look pretty, I mean, that's a great thing, and sort of strut around and you know, receive compliments. It's very feminine, that, you know. So I don't want women to go through the exercise of, because there is no age that I will not care about looking pretty, you know, or as pretty as I can be at this stage, you know. So that it's a nice thing to want to adorn and be beautiful. It's a part of femininity, I think.
Personally, I find it very hard right now in the Instagram age. I feel under pressure to look like my edges should be laid, like I should have a small waist and a big ass, and I would wear tight jeans. Like, but I know I want to look like my most authentic self. Like I want to feel good, but I sometimes feel like social media doesn't portray what is like people like me. There's a great, like, you know, like hashtag body positivity and everything, but still mainstream is not really body
Yeah, now
positive.
you don't have to go and pay $8 to get a Vogue magazine. Exactly. You can just turn on your phone for free and say, oh my God, she looks so beautiful. I'm so annoyed.
Exactly.
What's wrong?
Exactly. Exactly.
It's not fair.
Exactly.
I mean, well, here's the thing. Comparison is so dangerous. When we start comparing ourselves to someone else, when someone else becomes a measuring stick for our own worth, be it our looks, our achievement, or whatever, it's dangerous. I mean, as an actress, you know, you have to stay away from comparing, because everybody's journey is different. Everybody's timing is different. Everybody's body and everybody's hair. And these days, you don't know what's really somebody's hair or really somebody's body or what they've done. So you say you find it hard being young. It is. It's difficult because, you know, young women are so very impacted by what other people are doing. And this social media age is crazy.
Yep.
Crazy
I can,
for that.
it's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, we have anxiety attacks, and it's just like, oh, I wish I could. I wish I was. I wish
At
I.
least then you can go to YouTube and you can get instructionals on how
On
to
how
go
to-
about it. Like, okay, this way cincher is great. This way
Yeah.
cincher is not the one. This really works. This braid works. How to do it? It's crazy.
I'm focusing on my face. Like, if everything else fails me, I mean, I don't know. In in Napoli, Sana had to choose between Will and Clint. Who would you wanted her to end up with? As Lynn, not as Violet's
Lynn.
mom.
No, well, I wanted her to end up with the person who loved her for who she was. I mean, that scene where he took that oil and started rubbing her head, sexy. That was so sexy. So that definitely sold me on him. He had this, you know, a touch of someone, it appeared to me by seeing it, of acceptance of what her truer beauty was, and that he was a father and trying to raise his, and had a pride in what he did. I would like for her to end up with him, Lynn. Yes, and not somebody who asked her if she could straighten her hair before she met his parents. No, no, you're out, you failed.
Was it hard to do the scene where you had to jump into the water? Like, did you need any convincing? Was it just like, oh my God, I would love to do this? Because I mean, I personally haven't seen you in any of your work, like where you're just like, you know, my hair's out.
Abandoned?
I mean, you know.
No, I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it. And the one thing I said, listen, when the wig comes off, the hair really needs to be a little bit awkward. Like, can it be in two and like little balls so you can see it? But we didn't have time because everything in film is time versus
They
money.
just told us 7 minutes now as well.
Yes, 7 minutes, there we go. And so it wasn't as awkward as I wanted it to be. And no, I wanted to jump in. I wanted it to be really a sincere moment, you know, where underneath all of that desire and romance was this simple woman who just wanted to be loved and wanted her daughter to be loved and wanted to be happy and kind of simple, flat-footed. No, for me, it was an opportunity to do something slightly different, to, you know, show that she's just a real woman. And when her husband, you know, grabbed her face and said, oh, you look, you know, that resonated for so many women of all ages, that kind of acceptance from the man that she spent her life with and that he thought she looked beautiful. Because every woman wants to hear that from whomever it is that they love. Like, I love you for who you are. It's such a simple thing, a simple ask, and so rare, all at the same time.
And lastly, Miss Lynn, what is the best career advice you have received or implemented?
Well, actually, it was given to me by Cicely Tyson 3 weeks ago. She said, you are kicking butt. Now make it work for you. And that's, you know, some equation that kind of unfolds as it unfolds. You know, each thing that you do, because artists spend so much time pushing work out, you know, making a story good, and, you know, how do you make your personal creativity work for you personally? So at this point, because it changes, career advice changes at different points in your career. And now it is, how does it work for me?